before you watch our podcast, just to let you know about the quality. The quality wasn't really under our control because we had to do it at school, and we recorded on Logic Pro, which we we could record in, but we weren't too good at it. I mean, I know a lot about Audacity and OBS, so I feel like those two would have been better to record on, but we couldn't download them because again, it was at school, it was out of our control. And another thing, we are in competition with another group in our class, so could you please like and leave a good comment so we can just flex on them and have the bragging rights that our event was better. So please leave a like and subscribe. Anyway, enjoy the video.
Welcome to the 2 Months podcast.
This podcast will be about showing you music, but not just how it sounds, but more in depth.
We'll also be learning about sound engineering.
Our goal with this podcast is to get young people into extracurricular music activities outside of school.
Alright, so let's start. Harry, what do you think about music nowadays? What do you think that young people think?
I think that they're not in tune, in focus with the music, and I feel like it's a really underrated subject.
Yeah, because when they listen to music, they're like, oh yeah, this sounds good, but they
don't take it into depth, think about it.
It's not that music is underrated, because music itself is okay, but then people, they obviously, as I said, they just listen to music and say it's good. They don't properly appreciate it, how it is. If music can sound similar, but it doesn't mean it's the same. Or if it sounds the same, it doesn't mean it's the same.
People understand genre and stuff, but they don't understand note position and length and stuff, how it makes it to sound good.
And people get confused because we do music as a BTEC. We know that. We know things like minor key and major key, and if notes clash and if they don't, and if the music is good on a professional level, not that we're professionals, but if the music is actually well made instead of just sounding nice.
Learn about all of this in extracurricular activities. There will be more information during this podcast.
I think people don't take into account the writing and the production that goes behind music. So unfortunately, we don't have one of our podcast members with us due to illness, but he will be with us for
the end of the podcast.
Towards the end of the podcast.
I mean, straight back into it. Harry, what does music mean to you? Not not just on a personal level, but also as we do in musician on a musician's level.
I think musicians
no. What does it mean to you?
I believe that music could change how people see the world, because people are listening to music at least on the daily. In the car, you're going to be listening to music and you just hear it all the time. And people don't really take in the messages of music that much.
And you can associate certain types of music with places you've been, certain cultures and things. I think that makes it.
Yeah, because people, when they hear music, this is this kind of music, or this is music from this place.
Yeah. This music was played at my wedding.
Exactly, and then you get vibes from it.
You had a wedding?
That wasn't a personal example.
Yes, Alex, what does music mean to you?
I think it's a way of outletting, is that a word?
Yeah. Of releasing
emotions and things like that. And I think it's probably one of the best art forms, personally, that's what I'd say.
Let's flip the question. Are there any negatives in music, Keenan?
I mean, yeah, because in places like London, in places like London, music is sometimes a way to spread hate across another gang, and then sometimes in America as well, is music is a way to spread hate and maybe even sort of encourage crime in a way, and then obviously say something about somebody.
But that shows how powerful it is, how because it probably started back, in when cavemen were all about,
you hear about
chants up and
it's a powerful thing.
Yeah.
Well, people our age, they range between 14 and 16. It's they view it in a way that the more sort of bass it has, or the angrier it sounds, the better it is. So, and we've been taught in our BTEC that it's not just about how it sounds. It's the more if it's all in time, if it's...
Do you think they appreciate it as much as older generations?
Well, older generations, they like, for them it wasn't just sounding good, it's if it was like, you know, all in time, like if it was all neat, in like, if you looked at it as sheet music, it would all be neat. But now, as I said earlier, it just...
So do you think it takes less talent?
Yeah,
to be a
it does.
modern day
Yeah,
artist?
definitely. Yeah, music takes a lot less talent because, again, if it just sounds good, it's alright. You can play it in the car because it just sounds good. It doesn't matter if it's...
You don't need to know what you're playing.
Exactly. You don't need to know anything about notes at all.
Also,
Like,
yeah,
sort of
I
like
agree.
what notes like go together. Like what key. Like you want to, because if it's in major, you want to keep all the notes in major. You know, chords as well, major chords. You know, and whereas in like
Keep going.
yeah, whereas like now, you know, you can play any kind of keys, and if it just sounds good, you know, it sort of passes. And then like if you're like somebody who knows about music and you try to get your point across, saying no, this doesn't make sense. Like, no, Kaylin, trust me. Well, not Kaylin, but they're like, no, I know this. Like it sounds good, so it's just fine.
There's still some artists, modern day, who know what they're talking about. You know?
Yeah, but then. Yeah, obviously, yeah, because we're quite young. We know
we-
exactly what we're talking about. But then for most people, like if they just create like a beat
They
on their
just
phone,
find music. And
Yeah,
they don't
you
actually
can make a
like-
beat on your phone nowadays.
yeah, and it's
you
not,
know.
but
So-
it's not like even if like you do have a studio, you still might have
And
like, you know.
also, one of like differences between the older generations is buying music. So do you think, you know, obviously
Like streaming
buying music has sort of become
Like no one would
less
buy
popular.
CDs, do they? They get it
Yeah.
off their phone.
so what do you think of that?
Well, it becomes easier because now like you can like see for like pirate copies that if somebody like
Yeah.
well back in the day if you got like a record, if you just copied the record,
Yeah, well, you can like sample the music as well. You can hear like snippets as well. So if you like it, but then, do you think that they're using instruments to like full abilities? Seeing as they're only
Then
using
again,
their phones?
no. I mean, for us, you can like hear a lot of like of similar music, like not like between now and like maybe 50 years ago, because that could be just a coincidence. Because now there is more music, it does sound similar, but you can see like new releases sounding the same as that releases from like 4 months ago.
Yeah.
So they're like, you can see that people are like they're not really being unique. They're just
They
sort of like.
they can remix songs, which is okay.
Yeah,
but,
like, no,
if
you
they're
know,
just
people just like
copying-
make their own and say it's their own, but it sounds very similar to when you had
Yeah,
like 4
right.
months ago.
I think almost going back to like streaming platforms and things, say
Yeah.
Spotify. I think that's because there's pros and cons to it.
Yeah.
I say one of the pros is that you can
Get everything.
listen to an artist without paying and see if you like them first. I think that's where.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, you'd have to buy a
it and
product to see how they'd.
Yeah, and you couldn't really say, oh, I don't like it anymore. I don't want it. You're stuck with the music now because you've just bought it.
Yeah.
I feel like it was at its worst, like maybe like, I don't know, more than that, like 6, 7 years ago, where like you could just easily download it off the internet, whereas no money was involved. So the person who created the music just couldn't get the money. Whereas now we have more security in place. So if you do that, you get a fine, and that fine goes to
You know,
the artist.
people with like Spotify Premium, the artists do get some money, but it's not.
They
it's
do.
Not a
They
big
they
amount.
do well, obviously, but they do with non-Spotify Premium. That's why you have to watch the ads because the ads
Yeah.
pay
The money.
Spotify. Spotify obviously they do what they do with their money,
Talking about
so the
like,
people get it.
music opportunities, it's not just recording the music and playing an instrument. You don't have to play an instrument to be in the music industry. Like you can
No.
be
Well, yeah,
sound engineer, you can technician, you can do all the electrics and stuff.
You can look like you can like manage the money, and that's like
Yeah.
finance.
You can
which-
still like play a keyboard. Like say we use Logic Pro. I not like got a grade in like playing the piano, but I can still use it because you can edit it, and
Yeah.
that's like the good thing about like music today. You can edit.
Is
if
you
it's
can
wrong.
use it as a tool as
Instead
opposed
of
to
just, like-
yeah,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
an actual instrument.
because Logic Pro, it can like obviously if we can't play, let's just say with both hands, we can like play one with one hand and then play another
then
part later with that
lay
same
it
hand.
over the top, and
Yeah,
then
exactly.
It sounds like it's together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that means you don't need as much skill as you used to, which is good because it gets everyone involved in music.
Does get everyone involved, but that does also mean that you know, popular music celebrities might not be as skilled as how
you,
they
yeah.
would be back in the
Yeah,
day.
and then you wouldn't like if you were trying to play live and say you wanted to play on a piano live, you wouldn't be able to do that as well if you used to just recording it into Logic. So it's like pros and cons of it.
Yeah.
I think the differences are like back in the day you had to actually be able to play an instrument.
Oh yeah, and you have to
and
play it. You
get
have to
notes.
play it well. It's not
Yeah.
just like Yeah, I can play it. Like you could just do it a few times. You had to play it full on. You had to know.
And now it's all about like thought and like your mindset and how you think it should sound, and you can play it like that as long as you know how to use the software.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you know like what notes you want to play, and
Yeah.
if you know that the notes go together, then you're pretty much
Yeah,
sorted.
you
If
don't
you have
have-
Logic Pro, you're sorted. If you know.
You don't have to be the person that's actually creating it. You can just like have thoughts about it and put it into Logic, and it helps you.
Yeah, I mean, like with some musicians as well, for like some like singers or rappers, you get obviously sometimes you get like other people to do it, and they're very skilled and talented as well, so they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. And I think there still are people in the industry who are talented and who do know what they're talking about.
Yeah, but like, I feel like they're not getting as much credit as they should. I mean, not saying that I've listened to them, but like they should get more credit for like.
No,
Well, no. If you listen to like some others, like think of the songs that like are more modern, like have come out in the like, past couple years that get millions and millions of views. Billions sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, they're not that creative. If you think about it.
No,
Like-
I think Despacito's really generic.
Yeah, I mean.
I think it's easier at the same time. It's hard to become like famous today in music because everyone's doing exactly the same thing. You have to be different, but then it's quite hard.
I think we're just talking about pop, whereas if you look at other genres
Like
that
rock.
do take skill, like say
Rock and like playing
well,
guitar, like live.
orchestras or things,
Yeah.
you know, you've got to be able to play.
Yeah,
to go
exactly.
in that, you-
But like, that's what I mean. Like orchestras, they don't get like because
Enough
again.
credit, they don't get the
Yeah, like,
credit.
again, I wouldn't listen to them. That's probably exactly why they don't get credit. But
Yeah.
like,
Like it's
yeah.
a niche audience that people.
Yeah,
listen
it's
to.
a smaller audience.
But,
But then again,
more skilled.
I feel like that audience is probably more
Older.
likely to buy products.
Yeah, they probably should buy CDs for their cars instead of on their phone, like
Yeah.
streaming it.
yeah. I mean, to be honest, like again, I think that obviously, the music. There's difference between. I think some musics are better, and there's others that are made better. Just there's some that I would listen to, but there's some I know that are better in terms of music, but I won't listen to.
But it's like personal preference, isn't it? Like
Yeah, but then obviously, like you might say, yeah, this is good because it sounds good. There's obviously, like Alex
Yeah.
said, orchestras that are good, whether you like it or not, but they just don't sound good
Yeah.
to us. Because like, if it sounds good, that's a personal preference. But if it is good, that depends on music.
yeah, that's what we're learning in our BTEC music about how to like identify if it's like played well or if it just sounds good and like see what's better.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really in music. We don't really get choice of what we do. I mean, that's a good thing as well. Because if we did, we would make
Yeah.
the same mistake as everybody else our age. We'd just
Because we're-
make sure it sounds good.
We're all doing the same like project, but all of our work is completely different.
And
it's just,
the good thing is that we sometimes score our work, which gets them to see
yeah,
if the notes are well played, like not really well played, but like put in the right order, and like made well, like with the right notes in the right places, and that makes like the people who mark it not have an idea of how it sounds. They're just looking at it and see if the notes
Yeah,
match,
and
not
like,
match, but if they go
we
together.
do a lot of coursework in our BTEC, and I feel like that is a really good thing to get young people involved in music because they don't want to
Yeah.
just be writing loads. Because there's only one exam and then 3 BTEC like
Yeah.
projects to do.
But I think, you know, we can also put our music tastes and our preferred genres into the music we write, which
Yeah.
gives us, you know,
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
gives us
Yeah.
our own style.
We,
and
but
how
because
to
yeah,
produce.
because we've done this, and because again, as I said, because it gets scored, you know, it's not just seen of how it sounds. So we can now we could put our own, genre in, and it will sound really well. Like it will on two kinds of levels. It will sound well, and it will be made well.
yeah. But, you know, because obviously something I'd write would sound different to something you two would write.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
of the type of music we listen to.
Like, I'm not open to any music that I listen to. Like, I can listen to any music.
yeah, I can listen to any music, and I
Decide.
I can listen to any music, and I say it sounds well, but it depends if it's like Harry what.
Yeah, I think that it probably would sound different because you listen to different styles of music, but then again, we listen to different ones. So
Yeah, on like a musician's level, it would all be.
Thanks for cutting me off.
Alright, carry on.
No.
No, just keep it in. Carry on.
Anyway, yeah, Alex's would sound different to mine and Caden's because his style isn't as like new because he's like older music that he prefers, which is like.
Well, I
like
think
that.
I still listen to modern music. I just don't think it's probably as commercial
And like, yeah, it's not.
as
Yeah,
some other things.
I know how you're looking at it. It's not as good. It's obviously in my head it sounds better. But you're right.
Yeah.
It's not as good.
Most adults know about like the older style of music, and they don't like really listen to all this like new, like, rap and stuff that's
I think
coming out. And
It's about being open-minded to other styles and genres, because you always get those people who listen to the old music and they say they enter 70s music. They always say, oh, modern day music is awful, but there's millions of
Yeah.
yeah, like, if they were born,
there's literally something for everyone nowadays.
Yeah,
And
but like actually, like old people, they might like.
I mean, some of them are open-minded enough
it's like
to accept.
the sort of time that you were born that actually really affects how you view like the
Yeah.
timelines of music. Like if you prefer like older music or like newer music.
Yeah, but I don't think it's just about newer and older. I think it's about if somebody was listening only to the radio for the whole of their life, they're gonna probably prefer the things from their childhood to the things that
it's gonna be more diverse and
Yeah.
easier.
Whereas I think things with Spotify, you can get lost down like a
Discover Weekly and it
Yeah,
plays
yeah,
new
yeah.
music and what's good.
and you can
at the
find
moment.
things that are really niche and really obscure. But I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, they promote that as well,
Yeah.
which is good on like your Discover page. It'll show you like the things you haven't listened to yet, which helps to find new music.
Yeah, and like it really does depend who you are when you were born, because older people they might because they see like orchestras being played and they can see how like obviously how much they trained like for them. Well, most people just do that. It's just made in their basement. Really, it's just made
Yeah,
to
like,
sound good. And
some people it like connects to their like emotions and their childhood, and that's why they like it more
Yeah.
than other music that's been created that they haven't heard before.
Yeah. But I think there's some genres that won't go like out of date, and like we say, like orchestras. I think those will always be sort of in fashion
Yeah.
because
I'd say I reckon in about 10 to 20 years, because we don't like need those anymore really. Just get big speakers and they can just play. No, I mean like obviously some people still want to see, but like you could just as like technology goes on, you can just really.
But I think
But
that
think
they'll
about-
still be used in like stage production.
I think
and
it'll be
stuff like
used.
that,
I
and,
think
like,
it'll always
TV
be used. Think
stage
about
production
yeah.
and
Think
radio,
about
like,
film music.
classic.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's what I mean. But I don't think people will go to watch them anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
you
but
could just
people-
sit on your sofa and just see on
People
like.
use like older people that are driving or anywhere.
Yeah, that's when they'll eventually die though, wouldn't they? Yeah, it's true.
No,
It's-
but
that
there's
happens.
no,
I know,
but
but
there's
if they're
still
doing stuff
young
in the
people.
kitchen-
Yeah,
that
yeah,
are
I know what you
into-
mean.
Look, there's young people that like classical music that
Yeah.
say they're playing an instrument. They want to get inspiration of how other people are like. Say
Yeah.
like clarinet, like it isn't in like nowadays music, and it's not in like.
But it will give
Pop,
you the
is it?
skills. Like a lot of people who train instruments, like I play guitar. They learn classical pieces and that because
First.
it gives you the
Skills,
tools
it's
and the
more
skills. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I feel like because obviously at the moment they're like kind of level like modern music and like obviously our fashion. I'm talking like the last 20 years. More than that, like probably 30 to 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Like now they're pretty much level, and I feel like eventually, let's just say it took 50 years time. I mean, there might be a new kind of music that comes out really. That might overtake
back to what
music now.
Alex said that I used to play drums for about 2 years, and at first, we were learning like older, like more classic, simpler bits of music, but it's more complex, and after that, it's just really like useful for any type of music.
Yeah.
Harry South with us.
Hello.
Right,
So-
Harry South, talk to us about
Music clubs out of school.
There's a large variety of music clubs at our school.
Go
One of them being the Music Tech Club,
All right.
where
So
you,
what does that involve?
What do
you can come after school and
What day is it?
on a Tuesday.
Is it
and
3
you-
till 4?
Yep, and you can use our music rooms to use the software and get a taste of what we have at this school
Yeah.
and the hardware that we have.
Or you could like revise.
It's
couldn't
all
you?
years.
You could use it for revision.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you do catch up for.
Yeah, we
Many
did
different
catch up.
uses for it.
What years is it for?
It's for all years.
Okay. So what other clubs are there? Like there's a choir.
There's a choir
Yeah.
club.
Yeah, that's for
So
all years.
what's that about?
Just you can take part in the choir and be a part of it.
Do they do like not shows, but like? I think
Yeah,
they-
there will be some shows.
Yeah, and there's also the
the Folk Club,
Folk Club, yeah.
which is run by Mr. Jessup, a highly rated music teacher.
They've got it's like stage music for like the drama club.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's bands that play.
There's bands,
After
yeah.
school.
Like, they involved in like the summer
Some weeks.
concert,
Yeah.
and like the Christmas concert.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're looking to start more clubs. So
Yeah.
yeah. VTech Music is a VTech that we do like 4 modules and 1 exam in. It's mainly coursework and practical, and it's about like the studio side of things and like microphones and stuff like that. And it's
And the sound like recording,
yeah,
like sound
recording and
technician
stuff and sound
sort of
protection.
thing.
It's really useful. You don't have to be able to play an instrument well or like sing or anything for it, which is a like advantage if you want to get into music but you can't play an instrument.
Yeah. But there are people who do play an instrument and
Yeah,
still
like-
do music tech.
So pretty much it's open to everyone that can do it. Like anyone can,
Yeah.
unless you've got no fingers.
So what do you think, Kaylin? What do you think of VTech Music? Because we're coming towards the end now. We're currently doing our last bit.
I mean, yeah, it's good. It's
Been a very creative and
Yeah.
easily accessible.
experience.
How did you find the exam that we done, Harry?
I found the exam
Difficult, not gonna lie.
The exam
fairly
was
fairly,
quite difficult.
fairly
When
challenging.
it compared to everything else, it was difficult.
But because we've done it a year early, we can retake it, which is also an advantage. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good advantage.
But I'm not retaking it though. Is anyone else retaking
Yeah,
it?
no,
we don't need to.
I'm retaking it to get a
No.
like a strong merit. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I got a merit in that one.
What, a distinction?
No. Wait, I don't know. Well, what did you get, Alex?
I got a distinction, so I
I
don't
got a
need to
merit. I
retake
didn't get
it.
to retake it either.
We did.
Harry, what did you get?
I can't remember.
What?
I bet you can't.
I actually can't.
You definitely got a pass.
No,
Fairly.
Right.
no.
Okay.
Anyway, enough fun.
Into extracurricular activities.
Because
in
it
school.
will encourage them to become creative and they could find a passion for music, and it will help them with their in-school
Yeah.
life.
And if
Yeah.
you're
It'll boost
stressed
their
out,
learning.
like if you're stressed out about like work and exams and stuff, or if you find singing like a helpful way to
Music can
Like,
be a really relaxing
relaxing
topic.
and, like,
It can calm you down.
lo-fi hip hop.
Yeah, because you don't have to take any courses. You could just
No,
do
you
one of
can-
the clubs.
You don't have to do a music course to
Yeah,
do
'cause there's
music
people
tech.
who do choir who don't do music or BTEC music.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could do some of those clubs.
Kaylin, so what do you think that people like use music for as a conclusion?
What do you mean?
Just like conclude why people use music. Like what
Why would they?
general message of our podcast, basically.
Oh, why people use music?
Yeah.
Well, like, well, no, I guess it's just a sense of rhythm, really. You know, like somebody just says stuff and it's rhyming. It's good to listen to, isn't it?
Just makes you like happy, doesn't it?
Yeah, music's like, think of it as like, if you say a sentence, like, I don't want to say it, but like a poem, pretty much, and it rhymes, you're like, oh, this sounds good, but then like, music is like that, but like emphasised by a lot, so it's just a lot nicer.
People get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, there's loads of emotions as well.
Yeah.
So like any emotion you can feel through music.
People put a passion into it and their feelings.
Thanks for
Right.
listening to the 2-month podcast.
Yeah, and get into music, extracurricular music in school. Right, thank you. Bye.
That was the 2-month podcast. If you're interested in joining our music related club, ask one of the music teachers for more information. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.